From Cucurella getting ragdolled to Pepe completely losing his mind.
Pepe has lost the plot here.
These are the most absurd fouls in football history. And first, one of the most confusing VAR calls in Premier League history.
Silva pokes it. Sharky, there's no goalkeeper. Sharky's not put enough power. Haaland's gonna get there. City 3. No, surely a red card. No, it's gone in. It's gone in. Extraordinary. I've never seen anything like it. He's gone to the monitor. What on earth could he be giving? It's just chaos here. Well, it's either a red card for Szoboszlai.
Final decision is a direct free kick to Manchester City and a red card.
So he's not given the goal. He sent off Szoboszlai. He's not given the goal. It is another moment in VAR history.
Haaland and Szoboszlai took turns pulling each other's jerseys, and the ref let it slide. But as soon as the ball hit the net, VAR pulls it back for a foul on Haaland. The man got punished for doing exactly what his opponent did.
Are you serious right now, bro?
Are you serious right now?
Welcome to modern football. But the player at 29 picked a fight with the strongest player in the Premier League.
Primeiro aqui, Francisca, Cucurella com a dama.
Com esta imagem.
Adama Traore flung Cucurella like a rag doll, and João Pedro thought it'd be a good idea to step up. Big mistake. The second Traore turned and charged at him, bro's entire life flashed before his eyes. You could literally see his soul leave his body.
Wait.
Can't even blame him. That man is built like a freight train with anger issues. But at least he kept his mouth shut, unlike the next year is bad. Wait till you see what Van Hecke did to Haaland.
Yeah, Paul, that was some contest between you two tonight, wasn't it?
You mean with me and Haaland?
While every Premier League defender is out there struggling against Haaland, Brighton's Van Hecke found a creative solution. By creative, I mean a full chokeslam straight to the ground.
Oh, right old tangle between Van Hecke and Haaland.
WWE fans would be proud, and so would Thomas Müller after what he did at number 26. Ajax versus Bayern Munich. Tagliafico is just trying to control the ball, and then Müller comes flying in like the Bundesliga logo. But at least Tagliafico kept all his teeth, which is more than I can say for the guy at number 25. PSV versus AZ. The boys in red and white are getting humiliated. Mitroglou can't buy a goal all game, but he refuses to leave empty-handed. So, in the dying minutes, he does this.
Duel. Mitroglou, de linker elleboog in het gezicht bij Hatzidakos.
Taking your opponent's actual teeth home as a souvenir is not a foul. That's a crime scene. But hey, at least it wasn't intentional. The next defender had a much more obvious approach. Neymar's been showboating all game, and the Montpellier defenders have had enough. So when he flicks the ball past one of them, the response isn't a tackle.
Savanier, it's going to be a challenge on to Andy Delors. Savanier from Mavididi, the challenge.
It's a full Undertaker chokeslam. Rest in peace, legend. Speaking of unexpected fouls, this next coach definitely wasn't expecting what came his way.
And David Abraham is doing himself no favors here whatsoever, but these are not the types of...
In the final minutes, Freiburg versus Frankfurt, David Abraham decides the Freiburg coach is fair game and just takes him out on the touchline.
Still we wait for the final whistle. Oh dear me. Well, that is unnecessary. And David Abraham is doing himself no favours here whatsoever, but these are not the types of scenes that we want to see at the end of a game.
The entire bench erupts. They wanted to tear him apart. And honestly, the man is lucky he walked away breathing. But at least he only went after one person, unlike Otamendi, who made it a habit.
There is
through the...
Croatia versus Argentina. Otamendi fires the ball at the back of Rakitic's head. Croatians are furious. He barely escapes a red card.
Get through the challenge of Mascherano. He didn't quite succeed. Well, boiling point has been reached.
You'd think he'd calm down after that, right? Nope. He does the exact same thing against France. Yeah, bro is definitely asking to get jumped. But even he wouldn't throw hands the way this next player did.
Rachel Daly comes into play peacemaker.
Dying minutes of a WSL match. West Ham versus Aston Villa. Hawa Sissoko is tired of Sarah Mailing dragging her back. And instead of letting the ref handle it, she handles it herself.
And then Sarah Mailing with something that looks more like a rugby challenge. And then the altercation continues between Mailing and Sissoko. Rachel Daly comes into play peacemaker.
Quick hands, serious power. I genuinely think she might be in the wrong sport. But even all of that couldn't crack our top 20, because from here on out, these fouls go from absurd to genuinely unhinged. I'm talking about Pepe hurting Messi, another player spitting, and a bit of baby daddy drama. Before we get to those, however, we need to see a frustrated legend who completely lost his mind at Old Trafford. Old Trafford, Manchester United versus Liverpool. And this ain't just any match day. The Red Devils are already being humiliated 3-0 with seconds left until halftime. The home crowd is in disbelief. Ronaldo is fuming. And when he tries to win the ball from Curtis Jones, he completely loses his head.
Ronaldo went for a kick. He had a kick. Initially a foul. That in itself perhaps worthy of yellow, but the second...
3-0 down at home to your biggest rivals, and now risking a red card on top of it? Even great footballers are human after all. But frustration is one thing. What Totti did next was pure, cold-blooded pettiness. 2010 Coppa Italia final. Inter versus Roma. Balotelli's doing what Balotelli does best. Holding the ball up, winding everyone up, running his mouth. And Totti, a man who takes absolutely zero disrespect from anyone, finally reaches his limit. And when Totti reaches his limit, you feel it.
Balotelli contro 3, va giù, punizione. Se perché la squadra era in svantaggio. Totti insegue Balotelli, Balotelli va via, rimpallo e arriva questo calcione di Totti a Balotelli.
But at least that was about football. The next pair brought their personal drama onto the pitch. While every other player is trying to play actual football, these two decided to bring their baby daddy drama onto the pitch.
Ahí ya se va expulsada con el número 23, Blanca María Solís, después de ese jalón de cabello.
Full soap opera energy. I mean, that's the only logical explanation for this level of chaos, right? But if this is absurd, wait till you see what Chiellini did to a star boy on the biggest stage in football. Euro 2020 final. England versus Italy. Wembley is absolutely rocking. Luke Shaw fires the Three Lions into an early lead. And the whole country believes this is finally coming home. Italy clawed back with an equalizer in the 67th minute, and now the game is on a knife edge. With time running out, Bukayo Saka thinks he's beaten Chiellini, thinks he's through on goal with space ahead of him. Then Chiellini just reaches out and drags him back like a parent snatching a toddler running into traffic.
Saka. I don't think you can do that.
I shouldn't be laughing, but that is one of the most disrespectful things I've ever seen on a football pitch. pure veteran villainy. But disrespect is one thing. What Douglas Costa did next is straight up vile. Juventus versus Sassuolo. Costa elbows a defender after a hard challenge. The two square up, the referee steps in. Things seem to be calming down, and then, just when it looks like they're talking it over, Costa spits directly in his opponent's mouth.
Douglas Costa was sent off for straight.
That is hands down the most disgusting thing I've ever seen a footballer do. No debate, no argument, absolutely repulsive. But if you think that made your stomach turn, just wait till you see what this next defender did with a smile on his face. French Cup, PSG versus Brest. And yes, a defender named Brassier from Brest. I'll let that sink in. Anyway, Brassier finds Mbappe's half turn a bit too quick for him, and instead of trying to recover, he stamps directly on Mbappe's ankle. A season-ending injury from a guy called Brassier would have been a headline that writes itself. But what's truly disturbing is the cold smile on his face when the red card came out. He was genuinely proud of what he'd done. And if a smile after a stamp makes your blood boil, the next entry is even more infuriating. Philip Bardsley had seen enough of Hazard making him look silly and flew in with absolutely zero intention of getting the ball. Studs up, full speed, straight through his legs.
Cameron did. Oh, goodness me, the challenge coming on. Where the ball is. If Bardsley's taking him out again, Mourinho is furious. What's the card? If the ball's on the pitch.
How this wasn't the red card remains one of football's greatest mysteries. But at least Bardsley's tackle was during play. The next one was a premeditated strike that had the actual police asking questions. 2006, Manchester City versus Portsmouth. And this is the one that crosses every line. After a corner is cleared, Ben Thatcher and Mendes both chased the loose ball, but Thatcher was never interested in the ball. He was interested in Mendes's face.
Carno. Yeah, that's got to be on the brink of a red. Because the ball's gone and he's come through late.
A deliberate elbow, and I mean deliberate, not a swing of the arm, not an accident, a calculated UFC-style strike to the head. And somehow, only a yellow card. But here's how you know this one was different. The police received multiple complaints and had to formally ask Mendes if he wanted to press criminal charges. When the law gets involved, you know the foul crossed into something far beyond football. Speaking of crossing lines, the next entry features a player who broke every rule in the book and got rewarded for it. Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid, the Spanish Super Cup final. Everything on the line. And with just 6 minutes left, Alvaro Morata is clean through on goal. This is the moment that could change the entire game. Federico Valverde sees the danger and, in a split second, makes a decision. Not a football decision, a survival decision. He takes Morata down. Hard. No hesitation. No apology.
C'est justement ce genre d'action. Ce genre d'action peut-être pour aller jusqu'au bout. Quelle faute! Ouais, ça va être le carton rouge bien là qui vient ensuite le chauffer un petit peu.
Chaos erupts, but one man stays eerily calm. Diego Simeone, the Atletico coach. He walks over to Valverde and slaps the back of his head. Not in anger though, more like respect. Like he's saying, I would have done the exact same thing. Madrid went on to win the trophy, and Valverde, the man who committed the foul, was given man of the match. But professional fouls are one thing. What Pepe did to Messi was pure malice. The Pep versus Mourinho era in Spain, when El Clásico wasn't just a football match, it was war. Both squads genuinely played like they wanted to hurt each other, and you could feel the hatred through the screen. During one of those battles, Messi gets fouled and goes down. Pepe walks over, stands close to him, and suddenly, Messi starts writhing in pain. At first, it doesn't seem like much, but then the replay drops, and it's just nasty. And the worst part, after doing what he did, Pepe dared to stand there looking completely innocent. The man committed a crime on live television and pleaded not guilty with zero shame. But even Pepe's nastiness couldn't crack our top 10, because from here on, these fouls stop being absurd and start being genuinely terrifying. I'm talking about Neymar's bloodied face, Son crying on national TV, and a revenge tackle 4 years in the making. Before we get to those, however, we have to see a fan who decided he was the main character. Aston Villa travel across the city to face Birmingham in the Championship. Fierce rivals, a toxic atmosphere, and both sides scrapping for bragging rights. Villa wins a corner, and out of nowhere, a Birmingham fan sprints onto the pitch and sucker punches Jack Grealish right in the side of the head. Damn, I'm already clenching my fist just watching this, but Grealish kept his composure. Deep in the second half, he picked the ball up in the Birmingham half, drove at the defense, and unleashed a strike that silenced every single person in that stadium.
Grealish. On it goes! Yes, there it is!
Hands down, the coldest revenge in football.
Yeah, you know, I was just unaware at the time. Obviously, I was walking into position and then I just felt a whack around the side of the face. Obviously, I don't, you know, there's rivalry and stuff in football, but I don't think there's any place for that, really.
But even that level of composure can't prepare you for what happened at number 9. Daniel Catano of Millonarios is doing his pre-match warm-up. Just stretching, getting loose, not even thinking about the fans. And then, out of nowhere, a supporter charges onto the pitch and goes straight at him. Catano reacts, and unfortunately for the fan, he wasn't fast enough to get away. But here's where it gets absolutely ridiculous. The referee sent Catano off before the game had even started. He was sent off for defending himself during a warm-up. Football sometimes makes no sense. But if you want something that makes even less sense, wait till you see what they did to one of the most beloved players who ever lived. Towards the end of his legendary career, Ronaldinho went back to his native Brazil to give the fans one more taste of the magic. But instead of the hero's welcome, a defender flew in with a 2-footed lunge. Both feet off the ground, full speed, airborne, like something straight out of a WWE pay-per-view. Watching the replay is genuinely uncomfortable. Ronaldinho was incredibly lucky to walk away from that without a broken leg. You don't do that to anyone, but you especially don't do that to a man who gave this sport everything. And if that level of violence toward a legend makes you angry, what happened to Messi next will make your blood boil. I'm genuinely convinced Athletic Bilbao players had a personal vendetta against Lionel Messi. The man scored 24 goals against them. So I understand the frustration, but on this day, one defender took it somewhere it should never go. Messi chasing down a loose ball, the defender clears it and then keeps his boot going, straight into Messi's face, studs first, full contact. People lose their eyesight from things less violent than that. This wasn't competitive aggression. This was intent to seriously harm another human being. And when you see what happened in the next entry, you'll realize some of these tackles are designed to end more than just careers. In the Brazilian league, Vasco da Gama thinks they've scored. The stadium erupts, pure joy. But the referee cancels it because of a collision with the goalkeeper and goes to check VAR.
Intenção nem maldade do Leandro Castan, porque ele não tá nem percebendo que o goleiro tá tão próximo dele.
mas ele atinge quase solo o rosto do goleiro.
And when the replay plays, it becomes horrifyingly clear this was no ordinary collision. I genuinely cannot watch that again.
Ele anula o amarelo e expulsa Castan.
But now that we've made it to our top 5, I need you to fasten your seatbelts and brace yourself, because what's coming next isn't funny anymore. These are the moments that remind you football can be genuinely dangerous, starting with a tackle that left one of the kindest players in the world completely broken. Tottenham versus Everton, just a regular Premier League Sunday. Son goes in for a challenge. It's slightly mistimed, nothing malicious about it at all. But the way Andre Gomez's ankle buckles on the landing turns this into an absolute nightmare. The stadium goes dead silent. Players are frantically waving medics on with genuine panic in their eyes. Some can't even look. And Son, the man who made the tackle, is completely shattered, tears pouring down his face, inconsolable, hunched over on the pitch, unable to process what just happened. He didn't mean it. Everyone in that stadium knew he didn't mean it, but the damage was already done. This is one of the most heartbreaking moments in Premier League history.
Didn't want to celebrate because I just want to respect those situations, and of course I still feel really sorry about this situation, and it's been really tough days, tough few days, and I said before, I realize how lucky I am. The people around me, the supporters, the club, and the coaching staff, the players, teammates, they helped me really a lot and give me so much strong message. And of course, I wish still Andre Gomez get well soon and best wish, and yeah. But it's the right answer to keep working hard for me and try to perform like always and with positive energy. I think this is most important.
And a reminder that sometimes the worst injuries come from the most innocent challenges. But while Son's tackle was accidental, what happened next was anything but. Rangers versus Slavia Prague, and just 6 minutes. 6 minutes after coming on as a substitute, Kemar Roof launches into a challenge and catches the goalkeeper flush in the face with his studs.
Good weight on that, goalkeeper commits. And Roof has fouled the goalkeeper. He's taken a heavy knock there. Kemar Roof saying he didn't see where the goalkeeper was coming. Red card! Straight red card for Kemar Roof was...
My goodness, this gets worse with every single replay. Every angle somehow more horrifying than the last. The goalkeeper suffered a massive gash across his forehead, a fractured skull, and had to wear a protective mask for weeks afterward. But what makes our number 3 special isn't just the violence, it's the patience behind it. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, a man who never forgets and never forgives. Years earlier, Materazzi had put on a brutal foul that left Zlatan unable to walk. And Zlatan limped away that day knowing one thing for certain: this wasn't over. 4 years later, the Milan Derby, Zlatan versus Materazzi again. Zlatan wins a penalty after yet another foul from Materazzi. But even that wasn't enough. That wasn't the revenge he'd been planning. In the second half, the two rush in to contest for a ball, and Zlatan unleashes a full taekwondo kick that sends Materazzi straight to the hospital. When asked why he did it, Zlatan's response sent chills down everyone's spine. I have been waiting for this moment for 4 years, that's why. 4 years of patience, 4 years of remembering that pain, all for one moment of cold, calculated payback. But if Zlatan's patience was scary, what comes at number 2 is just pure unfiltered brutality. Brazil are cruising 4-0 against Bolivia. The game is over. There's nothing left to play for. But when Neymar tries to take this man on, the defender doesn't even pretend to go for the ball. He comes in elbows high, spinning like a UFC fighter.
Wrestling with talent as we unfortunately get away with that.
And speaking of moments where football stopped being football, it's time for the single most unhinged foul in the history of this beautiful game. April 21st, 2009, the Santiago Bernabeu, Real Madrid versus Getafe. And Madrid know that nothing less than the win keeps their title hopes alive. The pressure inside that stadium is suffocating. And when you're already on edge, it only takes one moment to push someone over. The game doesn't go to plan. Madrid are losing 2-1 with 10 minutes left. And the anxiety is eating the stadium alive. Then Guti steps up and curls in a free kick in the 86th minute. 2-2. The Bernabeu can breathe again. But then Casquero goes down in the box, and the referee points to the spot. Penalty to Getafe. And that single decision detonated every fuse in Pepe's brain simultaneously.
It is Casquero on the chance to score. He's brought that for a kick. Pepe has lost the plot here.
What follows is not a foul. It's not a moment of madness. It's a complete and total meltdown on live television.
So, you appeal, and if they get something out of it, great. Plus, backing the player.
Pepe doesn't just foul one player. He goes after multiple people, kicking, stomping, throwing actual punches. Players on the ground getting stamped on. Teammates trying to pull him away and failing. The referee completely losing control of the situation. And here's the twist. Casquero missed the penalty. Madrid went on to win 3-2, the result Pepe wanted all along. But it didn't matter anymore because the world had just watched a man completely lose his humanity on a football pitch. Pepe received a 10-match ban and afterwards claimed he was depressed and devastated by his own actions. Not that a single person believed him.
Stop it.
But as violent as these fouls were, the real battle in football doesn't happen on the pitch. It happens in the kitchen. From Haaland's obsession with raw meat to the player chugging a Red Bull before every single game, click on the next video to find out what football players really eat.